So what's the salary for a sports journalist? Well, if we're talking about a conventional sports journalist who works, for example, for a newspaper, the answer is not all that great. And that shouldn't be too much of a surprise. Salaries aren't all that great, starting salaries at least, for reporters at any newspaper. However, I think there are some benefits still to being a sports journalist. Number one, it's a whole lot of fun if you're a sports fan. And also, sports departments at newspapers tend to be fairly well-funded operations simply because the audience for sports news is so large and so engaged that attracts a lot of advertising, but perhaps more so than the news side of the operation. So if you've got to be anywhere in the newsroom, that's a fairly safe place to be, perhaps, in terms of job security and reimbursement. So that's the typical salary, perhaps, for a sports journalist. Now, again, here, a lot depends on what organization you work for and what you do in that organization. The salary for a sports journalist at the local hometown newspaper is, of course, going to be far less than the salary for a media superstar who works for ESPN or a major host. Those folks negotiate multi-million-dollar contracts every year. Also, a lot depends on what position you hold within the sports department in whatever organization you work for. Even if you're working for a small to medium-sized daily sports department, if you work as an editor in that department, you're going to make more than the people who are working as reporters. So there's a wide range, but the short answer, as is true in mainstream journalism in general, is don't get into it to be rich, because odds are you won't be rich, ever.